friends, Peggy Hall back with you to add some positive encouragement to your life. Last week, I spoke about dealing with difficult people. And in this scenario, it was someone that wasn't a coworker. It's not someone that's a part of my family. It's just someone in a community group. And I expressed how, it really stings when people try to tear you down in public. And I have my little prayer where I say, help them grow, Lord, help them grow, help her grow, Lord, help her grow. And it put me in mind of an experience that I had that I wanted to share with you. And I'm titling this, Does Positive Thinking Really Work? Because I want to share with you how I changed my outlook about a similar scenario that I was in. Now, I have done videos on this channel about dealing with what would be called narcissists. I think that that name isn't even enough to really describe. I made a few notes that describe these type of people who are very controlling. They're very manipulative. They impose their reality upon you. They leave you in emotional turmoil. They live their lives through drama. They invade your space, your business. They're contrarians. They're critical. We all know people like that. And sadly, some people have those individuals in their families, and they've chosen to limit their interaction with those people. So I understand that. But as a teacher, I often have individuals that are in my classes, and I can't limit myself from interacting with them because they are in my classes. So I had this experience some time ago where there were two women, and they were of a certain age. In other words, they were old enough to know better with their behavior. And I was teaching a class, and they were really interrupting, and it was making it difficult for other people to hear. And very quietly and very privately and very cordially and very professionally, I went over to them privately and I said, do you mind keeping it down a little bit because the others are finding it difficult to hear? I didn't embarrass them publicly. I didn't point them out. I didn't ridicule them. It was a very cordial interaction. And at that moment, there was a type of fury in the eyes of one of the women. One of them said, oh, sorry about that. Didn't realize that they were interrupting the others. But the other one had this look on her face of complete just anger and, dare I say, hatred. And she moved herself slowly to the back of the class and just sent me daggers with her eyes throughout the class. And it was very unsettling. And I thought later, I reviewed my behavior and I asked myself, could I have handled that differently? Should I have let them just continue to interrupt and carry on their conversation? Maybe I shouldn't have said anything at all. I was second guessing my own choice. And at the end of my review of my behavior, I determined that my behavior was fine and they were the ones that were in the wrong. And it was almost as if she was a little child again that had been caught with her hand in the cookie jar, and she couldn't stand this interaction of somebody asking her to please keep it down a little bit so that the others could hear. Well, over the course of several weeks, actually, she would come to class late. She would go in the back. She would do, and this was in my water fitness classes, and she would do her own workout on her own, not following along with the rest of the group. She would get out early. And again, I just felt this negative energy coming off of her, and she would just throw these daggers with her eyes. So I found myself falling into this trap of giving into the negativity that she was giving off. What I mean by that is I would start to hope that she wouldn't show up at class. I would even say that to my husband. Oh, I sure hope so-and-so doesn't show up because it's always awkward and uncomfortable. I don't know why she even comes to my classes. I was telling my husband, she doesn't follow along with the workout. She comes late. She leaves early. I don't think she likes me. Why is she even coming to the class? I hope that she doesn't show up this day. I was falling into allowing her behavior to upset me. And I don't know if she's a narcissist. I'm not analyzing people, but it was one of those situations where I was giving over my power to her, and I was dreading going to class and having her be there. I actually celebrated the days that she wasn't there. So you can see, as I'm talking about it now, I'm understanding how much of my time and energy and power I actually gave over to this woman. And in retrospect, it's kind of silly. Ideally, I have grown from this scenario and situation. And let me tell you about what I did differently and the impact that this had. And that's why I'm asking the question, does positive thinking actually work? Let me get to the punchline. I believe that positive action is more important than positive thinking, but I definitely believe that one's outlook, your perspective, the way that you look at things, the thoughts that you have about a situation can definitely impact how you feel about things and how you act, the choices that you make, the decisions that you take, and so forth. So I decided that I was tired of living in dread that this woman would be showing up at my exercise class. And I decided to take a completely different approach. And I did a little thinking, and I came to the conclusion, I don't know if this is true or not, but I came to my own conclusion that her behavior had nothing whatsoever to do with me. Who knows? She may have had a health diagnosis that put her in a terrible mood. Maybe she was like me and she had experienced the loss of a loved one. And so any kind of interaction she had, she was super sensitive to. Or maybe she had a controlling parent or sibling or boss or coworker who tried to tell her to pipe down. And when I said that, as cordial and polite and professional though I was, maybe it stirred something up in her and she completely shut down and would send me these daggers with her eyes and her energy. So I decided that I was going to change my perspective, my viewpoint. And instead of dreading that she would come to class and hoping that she wouldn't be there, I took a different approach. And I looked forward to her participation and attendance in the class. And in my own mind, I was saying, I bet she loves these classes. She shows up, even though she comes late and leaves early. She probably has a time conflict, but at least she comes for the amount of time that she can. And she was actually paying to attend these classes. So I decided that I couldn't change her and I couldn't change her outlook or her behavior, but I could change my own outlook and my own perspective. So I, as much as I could, decided that I was going to look forward to class and I would hope that she would be there and I would treat her exactly like I did everyone else, with a smile and encouragement. And maybe she was doing her own exercise because she had an injury. Maybe she didn't understand the exercises. Maybe she didn't care for the exercise. Maybe she had a variation that worked for her in a better way. So I removed it from being about me, and it was just about her and choices and situations that I knew nothing about. And I'm telling you, friends, after about, I don't know how long it was, I would say maybe a week of my outlook, my own outlook changing, of being in a mindset of hopeful expectation that she would show up at class and that she liked what she was doing. And that's why she kept attending the classes, even though she arrived late and left early. And I'm telling you, I felt better. Now, she still did her own workout. She still came late and left early and was in the back of the class. But here's what happened. One day, she actually stayed until the end of class. And as I was putting away all of the equipment, she came up to me and she said, I've got to tell you, that was one of the best workouts ever. I love the exercises. I love the music. And I just wanted to let you know. And I said, well, thank you so much. I really appreciate your kind words. They encouraged me greatly. I was floored. And I literally was on cloud nine the rest of that day, not because she had complimented me on the class, but it was because I had changed my outlook, my attitude, my perspective. I changed the thoughts in my mind. I created a story for her behavior. Whether or not it's true, I'll never know. And get this, it doesn't matter. I cannot change anyone's story, anyone's history, anyone's sensitivity or hurt feelings or upbringing or deficits. That is not in my power, and it's not in your power either. I only have power over my own thoughts, my own emotions, the choices that I make in life. And I chose to approach this with a positive outlook. I chose to look forward to this person attending class. And I just could not get over. I guess I should accept the fact that those thoughts and outlooks and attitudes are so powerful that I actually did have some influence in this situation. Let me know in a comment, has anything like this happened to you? And again, this might be with a loved one, with a family member, a coworker, or maybe someone like this that you're a little bit more at a distance and you can't really break the relationship. I know there are people that have decided to set healthy boundaries in terms of interacting with people that drag them down, that try to control them and manipulate them and create drama and havoc and all of that. And I understand that. I actually applaud that. I've done videos about healthy boundaries on this channel before, but sometimes we're in a situation where we are with these people, whether we like it or not. And I decided to like it, and it made all the difference in the world. Can't wait to hear your comments. Thank you so much for being on board. I will also have a written summary of this video in my Substack. I'll have a link for you in the description box below. And I look forward to seeing you in our next get together.